Right, let's hope to actually get one right this time. Roll the intro. Check this. Hey guys, how's it going? Names Games here, back with my 2020-2021 Prem Predictions! Now, I know I said I wasn't going to do this till after transfer window, but to be honest, I kind of need to chase the hype now because everyone's doing it. Smaller YouTube channels don't get the exposure, so if I did this at the end of transfer window when no one cares anymore, it won't get as many views as it would if I didn't do it now. So I'm here, I have a full page of notes, and I made so many changes. I say from the position 17th to 12th. God, right, and I'll probably say, oh, this thing could finish here and here based on certain circumstances. I'm trying to do this all in one take. I have a drink in front of me. If you do like the videos, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment, share your friends on the stuff you sports, very much appreciated. And don't worry guys, you don't have to look over Dark Souls gameplay anymore, because even though this is the most mediocre content on YouTube, I got slightly better from shit. So don't worry, you'll actually have proper, you know, just a proper looking video instead of having to look at some guy in a cave flying around with a sword. Okay, let's get into this. In 20th place, I've gone with probably the most controversial decision ever. It's West Brom. Everyone's gone for West Brom or Fulham. I've chosen West Brom. Why? Well, first of all, they didn't actually have a great defense in the Championship. Like, if you don't have the best defense in the Championship, you're never not going to have a good one in the Premier League. By the way, I'm not doing the same mistake I did last year, not judging all of this by the first game of the season. I'm going to mention the first game of the season. Some of these teams haven't even played yet, but I'm just going to mention, just from what I've seen at Leicester, I get a shit, like, Leicester didn't even play that well up till the last half an hour. The defense looked like they were running around like head's chickens. For Vardy, I don't know why he was doing, literally pulling Vardy down. And O'Shea's one was controversial because I don't even think that was it could have been a penalty, it could not have been. He slimmed his shin. He hit his shin. And yeah, but apart from that, they had like 2 chances the whole game. It was pretty poor. They also didn't bring in that much transfers. Like, that's just from what I've seen. But yeah, overall, if they can't, like, you know, if they can't defend well in the Championship, I don't really see them standing a chance in the Premier League. So I have them dead last in 20th. Now, if I had to say though, compared to Norwich, I'll scale 1 to 10, 1 being absolutely hopeless defense, aka Norwich, and 10 being class, like Atletico Madrid. I'd say Norwich is obviously a 1, and I'd probably put West Brom and Fulham probably at around a 3. Speaking of Fulham, 19th place. Yep, I have Fulham going right back down, but they could stay up, and I'll explain why. So first of all, their defense wasn't that good either. It was slightly worse than West Brom's, I believe. They didn't make a lot of decent signings though, to be fair to them. You know, they brought in Lamina on loan, they brought in Harrison Reed, they have Alphonse Areola, which is a very, very good transfer. Tete from Lyon is a good signing. Could help a lot, honestly. I think they were always very, very weak on the wings, because like I remember it was against Arsenal, that counter-attack goal. No pressure on the wings, and they have Joe Bryan on the left, who, despite being a playoff hero, is actually not too bad of a fullback. But overall, I just feel like there's also too much competition, especially when it comes to this part of the table. So I have Fulham finishing in 19th. Now for 18th, and this one's probably my most controversial. It's Brighton. Now, Brighton fans, calm down, calm down. Don't get your seagulls to attack me. The only reason I have you here is because there's literally too much competition. That's the main reason. I can definitely see you staying up, but let me explain. Last season, you were very, very close to getting relegated. You luckily pulled away by the end, and also Norwich were shitting the bed. They didn't win a game for God knows how long, and also Watford, their revival just kind of fell off a cliff as well. Also, I like the signing of Adam Lallana, and I think he will do well. But I just feel like Brighton just can't keep up with some of the other teams who have improved so much. So like I said, the main reason I have Brighton here is because I feel like there's too much competition. Although I can highly see them staying up. But for now, I'm putting you in 18th. Now for 17th, West Ham. I have them barely staying up again. It's horrible what's going over at West Ham. Like, Diagana being sold for what, 15 million, 21 years old. Not to mention they're not planning on really bringing in anyone. The only player they actually brought in was Souček, and I do think that's a good signing, but that won't be enough. And I hate to say it, Declan Rice is a good player. If he leaves, they are in such deep trouble. And like, to be fair, like, I respect what Noble and Moyes and other players are doing. They're trying to say this is stupid, but you know, and this is a big if people like Haller and Fornals and Anderson wakes up, they could definitely stay up for sure. Phone, shut up. I don't care about your opinion. But yeah, West Ham I have just about staying up. They could finish a lot lower. They could finish a lot higher. Right, this one is probably along with Brighton, my most unsure. It's Villa. I have them finishing 16th, staying up again. Love the signing of Ollie Watkins. 30 million, club record signing. It's brilliant. They kept, as much as I hate him, and it was horrible seeing him actually make a debut for England, Jack Grealish, he's staying by the looks of it. Then again, there's still like a good month left in the transfer window. But from the looks of it, he's staying. They also have players returning as well, like Wesley, who did score 6 goals before he got injured. They have Tom Heaton returning. And they kept a lot of other good players, such as Marvellous fucking Nakamba. They kept Tyrone Mings. Konsa turned very, very good at the end of the season. And yeah, I feel like Villa could stay up. Ollie Watkins scored on his Premier League debut. But like I said, if the signings don't click, then they could end up going straight down. But I'm more confident in Villa. Now this one's probably the more controversial one. Sheffield fans, you're probably going to hate what I'm going to say. Second season syndrome. Now, yes, I know second season syndrome is such a cliche thing to say, but it's kind of true. It is a little true. Also, not only that, I just feel like Premier League clubs will adapt to the system that Sheffield have. They play a very, very nice football, and the overlapping centre-back thing I was wrong about last season, but I just feel like too many Premier League teams know now, and teams such as Leeds, back on them later, I feel like when Leeds play Sheffield, they're going to destroy them like 3 or 4 goals, because judging just from what I've seen against Liverpool, they are such a good attacking force. But not just like Leeds, like teams like us and City, Chelsea, even fucking Southampton. I just feel like Sheffield will feel the hit of second season syndrome. They may make a couple of good signs like Lowe and Aaron Ramsdale. They did lose Henderson, but Ramsdale's still a very, very good stopper. I see them staying up, but you're definitely not going to finish as high as you did. 14th, Burnley, simply because they're Burnley. They have Sean Dyche manager. Great defence, shithouse football, Brexit football. They've made no signings. That's why I have them down in 14th. 13th now, we have Southampton. Not as good as last season. They finished 11th. That's only because I feel, and I hope I'm wrong, I like Danny Ings. I feel like he'll drop off. I still think he'll hit over 10 goals. I say he'd hit like 13 or 14, but I just don't think he'll hit 22 goals. They did make a couple of good signings too, to be fair. You know, they brought in Kyle Walker-Peters on a transfer. They did lose players, however, like Lemina's but gone back out on loan. They've lost Højbjerg, who was their captain. I could see that highly affecting them. But overall, Ralph Hasenhüttl has them in a good structure, a good working hard team. And yeah, I just feel like they will finish in I guess not unremarkable, but a predictable 13th. Right, from 12th to 10th had the most changes, and this one is a bit odd, but I can see this happening. I see Palace finishing 12th. Now, hear me out. I know they did not finish this high last season. They finished around, what was it, 14th, I think it was. But I just feel like they'll do. They did a lot of good transfers. They brought in Batshuayi back on loan, who proved he could do well there. They also have Sorloth back, who just came back from smashing 30 in Turkey, and I feel like he could definitely get a chance in. And also just Palace, like Roy Hodgson has a team working there. And judging, I'm not judging by the first game of the season, but Zaha looked on form. He's only 3 off his total last season. But yeah, if Zaha stays, even though I kind of hope he goes, because one for him, he could play a better team. But also he's kind of like he's kind of sapping the life out of it, because, like, you know, he's just staying there. He doesn't want to be there. But anyway, that's for a different video. I can see them getting in a high 12th place just from their signings and the way the structure is. 11th now, and I think this is a repeat of last season. I have Newcastle. Loved the signing of Fraser and Wilson for 20 million. Well, Fraser was free. That is brilliant, I believe, in my opinion. Jeff Hendrick, another free transfer. You know, it's handy to have. Steve Bruce has them playing good. They kept Alan St. Maximin. They have players like Isaac Hayden, who did actually have a good end to last season. And I just feel like Newcastle, with their new signings, can't redo their feats of last season and finish 11th. Maybe even a little lower, maybe even a little higher. Now this one I'm really excited for. All I'm going to say is, Leeds, if you play like that every single game season, you could finish as high as 7th or 6th. That's a bold statement. But my God, watching Leeds play football is like a heart attack. That was like a pinball machine with Liverpool. But like, the ball is just going like bing, 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 bing. It is absolutely crazy. Bielsa, I love him. I love Leeds and I love a lot of their players. So they could finish as high as 7th, but I have them at 10th. But they could also finish lower if this isn't a permanent thing. Now we're in the top 10. This is where things start getting controversial. In 9th, Leicester. A lot of people are predicting it. I'm predicting it. It's a drop off. It is a very, very big drop off. That form after Christmas was shocking. Going from third all season to drop into 5th, that is kind of embarrassing. I think Vardy won't have kind of like an Ings situation. Don't think he'll have as good a season. He scored 2 on the first day, 2 penalties, but still, just 2 goals, you're not going to complain. Don't think he'll hit over 20. I think he'll get close, but just not as much. He helped them in a lot of situations. I like the signing of Castagne, who can play left and right back, but mainly his right back. He scored on his debut. I feel like the loss of Chilwell could be big, because I know a lot of Leicester fans didn't even like him. They thought he was overrated, but you can't deny that is going to be a feeling. I'm not sure who their backup left back is. I think James Justin can play on the left. They have Christian Fuchs, who's 35 now, but yeah, I just feel like Leicester is just gonna fall off, and everyone's predicting it. I'm just gonna go with it too. 8th now. This is weird because I'm a Liverpool fan. I suppose hate Everton. Don't mind Everton that much, especially since they have Carlo Ancelotti as manager. They brought in James Rodriguez. I fucking love James Rodriguez. I'm finally happy that even that first game against Spurs, he was unbelievable. But they brought in so many good signs. James Rodriguez, Alan, Decore. I love all 3 of those players. Ancelotti did steady the ship. They still finished 12th, which was their worst finish I think in 10 years. But still, I feel as if Ancelotti knows what he's doing. Like I said, he has the players in. I don't even think they're done yet. I think they're linked to a new striker too, even though, to be fair, Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison is a very, very nice partnership. And I think they need a new goalkeeper or defender, personally. That could boost them up higher, but for now, I had them in 8th place. 7 now, I think I predicted them, well, the last 2 seasons anyway. Wolves are just that team, aren't they? They're just consistently good against the top teams especially. They're like us 4 years ago, beat the big teams, kind of struggle against the smaller teams. But still, they're very, very good. I'm actually not sure. I think they did make a signing. I was on OneFootball and I didn't show anything. I probably should have looked it up. But Wolves are a strong team. They have less games to play now. They don't have to play 50 games now because they're not in the Europa League. So they can focus on the Prem. They can focus on their positions. They can focus on a cup if they want. And yeah, I could just see them finishing 7th. Now we're in the European spots. 6th. This is very hard to choose between 6th and 5th. It's between Arsenal, Spurs, and I have Spurs in 6th. I feel like they're going to finish 6th again, even though I believe Mourinho will steady the ship. Well, not steady the ship, will get them back on track is the right word I'd probably use, or the right phrase. They brought in good signings. Matthew Doherty, very, very good. They have been struggling at right back. They brought in a decent right back, even though, to be fair, who was it? I think it was Richarlison gave him a hard time in the first game. But like I said, don't judge everything in the first game. Højbjerg, I think Højbjerg is a very, very good signing. Once again, I said I believe in Mourinho. But at the same time, I can see this Spurs team anyway beginning to fade away a bit. So they could even finish lower. But for now, I had them in 6th, qualifying for Europa League. And obviously, I said it's between Spurs and Arsenal. So I have Arsenal in 5th. You're going to be jumping back up into Europa League, but not the top 4 Arsenal fans. Gabriel, I think, is a very, very, very good signing. He scored his debut. Apart from the mistake at the beginning, had a very, very good game. They also brought in Willian, who had a very, very good first game of the season, and also can play on both wings and just behind the striker too. Very, very nice. Arteta, I believe in his project. I think he will be the man to bring them back to the Champions League. And judging just from his 2 games against us, I'm not looking forward to playing with them at the Emirates. You're finishing 5th, but just outside the top 4. I can see you finishing in top 4, but I just think it's unlikely. The top 4. Who will make the Champions League spots? Who will win the league? Who will miss out? Let's start with 4th. Manchester United, right? Let's just get straight into it. Donny van de Beek, I love the signing. Pity he joined United. Pogba is back from injury on his day. One of the best midfielders in the world. Now this is an odd one. Dean Henderson. He's staying from what I know. I feel like they should start him over De Gea, because De Gea has been on the pedestal They haven't even like thought of Romero, who is a good goalkeeper. I think just from Henderson's form, give Henderson a couple of games, see how he does. If he doesn't do much better, bring back in De Gea. Even though I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the best manager, they should get a better manager, as Man United are that type of club who can have that pulling power. I think they'll do very, very well when Aaron Wan-Bissaka comes back from his quarantine. Fernandes will have a full season at United. They have Martial and Rashford fully fit. I can see them finishing 4th, maybe even a little higher, but also a little lower too, which I kind of hope for. Now, this is probably the most I said that like 3 or 4 times. I've City in 3rd.
Excuse me, the fuck did you say?
Now, this is all based on kind of Liverpool's transfer dealings. If Liverpool do make a signing, we're linked with both Thiago and Dennis Zakaria now, who, to be honest, I kind of want Dennis Zakaria more. I love Dennis Zakaria. I have a soft spot for the Gladbach career mode. Even though, you know, as I said, I don't mind if we sign Thiago, but at the same time, I don't mind if we go for someone else younger who is pretty good too. But I have City finishing 3rd. They haven't really addressed the dodgy defence, and you could see that in the Champions League. I know Laporte was a big reason for that, but you still have Benjamin Mendy, and I know you can play Cancelo on the left, but Walker is 30 now, and he isn't exactly the best defensive. Like, he's a good defensive right back, but you know, like, you haven't really addressed that. Like, you still, like, I know you're linked with Koulibaly, but you still have John Stones and all. Guys, I'm not even messing. As soon as I said City in 3rd, my computer crashed. That's how controversial it is. But yeah, I already said they're linked with all these defenders, but I doubt they'll sign any of them. And like I said, if Liverpool don't improve the first team soon, then I can see City going into 2nd. But now, number 1 is between Liverpool and Chelsea. Let's start off with 2nd, obviously. I have Liverpool. I had Liverpool 2nd last year. We won the league, but I just don't feel like we have enough. Even though, like I said last season, attacking wise, we look as good as ever. Defensively, oh my god. Arnold got destroyed. Van Dijk, I don't know what he was thinking. Joe was a nervous wreck. The only defender that looked somewhat competent was Robbo. And he didn't have like an amazing game either, but he had, like, compared to the other 3, he had a good game, to be completely fair. We need another midfielder. We really, really do. If we are going to sell Genie, which I feel like we should keep, we need to sign someone who's literally world class. So like someone like Thiago, someone like Zakaria, even someone like Verratti. You know, why not? Get him into the Premier League would be nice. But I just don't feel like we have that extra bit of push, and if we do, I'll be fucking delighted to win 2 Premier League titles in a row, but I feel like we have just missed out. But obviously that means I have Chelsea as champions. A lot of people do. They've made 7 signings. They're about to sign Edouard Mendy, who is probably going to be better than Kepa. They've signed Thiago Silva on a free. I highly rate that sign. A lot of people don't, but I think he could do very, very well. Chilwell for 50 million, probably the max I'd pay, better than Marcus Alonso. Kai Havertz, Werner, Ziyech. They have a fully fit Pulisic ready, and he did have a good. He didn't have a good game. He looked good in pre-season just from what I've seen of him. They have Kovacic still, Kante is still there. I just feel like they just have that, and the fact they finished 4th with a fairly, not a dry team, but like not a team that, you know, you think of Chelsea. Like, no offense, but when I see Chelsea, I don't think of Marcus Alonso, Kepa, Christensen, Tomori. Well, even though I rate Tomori, you expect like Chelsea to have people like the Ziyech, the Werners, and all them. So I think that is where Chelsea will finish, and that's my Premier League table. If you guys don't agree with me, then, you know, you won't agree with me, leave it in the comments down below. We'll have a nice little discussion, good or bad. I always read the comments, I always respond, unless you're one of those guys. Get free subs, and then guys, you can go fuck yourself. But anyway, guys, that's my Premier League predictions. We'll probably look back at these in 9 months time and notice I got 20 wrong again and none right. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you did like it, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment, share, friends, and yourself. Your support is very much appreciated. As always, I'll see you next time.